Hey there, and welcome to this video where I'm going to be talking to you about mastering the basic fundamentals of golf. And to me, this is really the first step in quick fixing your golf game. So let's get right into it. So I want you to ask yourself the following questions. Do you have the correct golf swing fundamentals? The first one is, do you have a neutral grip? Now I'm going to take you through in this video what a neutral grip is, and then how to identify and fix your grip so that you can make it into a neutral one. The next is, do you have square alignment? So I'm going to take you through what is square alignment, what's the proper alignment, and how to test it and check it. The next is athletic posture. Now you may be wondering what does really athletic posture mean? Well, I'm going to show you exactly what that means and really the posture that most great golfers have. And then the next thing I'm going to take you through is the optimal ball position for each club. So this is actually something that's extremely important and can significantly improve the quality of your golf shots in a matter of minutes by just knowing where to place the ball in your stance. So when talking about the grip, why grip it neutral? Now, as you can see in the picture, a neutral grip is defined as both V's on your hands. So I'm going to be talking from a right-handed point of view, but when both V's, which is the line that's created between the thumb and the index finger, are pointing to your right shoulder. So that's for righties. Now, the reason why the neutral grip is the correct grip in my opinion, and I think for most golf professionals would share this point of view, it really allows the club to travel along the proper swing plane, which maximizes your distance and it also maximizes your consistency. Now, if your grip doesn't currently look like this, then I strongly encourage you to change it. And it is a little bit of a long-term thing, and it's not going to happen overnight. But I promise you that without having a neutral grip, your improvement in your golf game is going to be limited, and you're going to have a much harder time in the long run if you're practicing and taking it a little bit more seriously. You're gonna have a tougher time improving if you don't have a neutral grip. So, how do you tell actually if you have a neutral grip? Well, as I mentioned in the previous slide, both V's point to your right shoulder when adjusting the ball. And then on your left hand, you should only be able to see 2 to 3 knuckles of your upper hand. So if you're a righty, it's your left hand, and if you're a lefty, it's your right hand. But you should only be able to see about 2 to 3 knuckles when you're looking straight down at your hands when adjusting the ball. Here's a quick fix drill that I find really helpful, and it's just a check to see if you're gripping it properly with the left hand, and that's if you're a righty. So what I want you to do, if you have a golf club in front of you, take the golf club and grip it with your left hand. Now, as you can see in the picture, I'm able to hold up the golf club on my left hand pad and my index finger only. Those are the only 2 touch points of the club, and I'm able to hold that up. And as you can see where the left pad is on my left hand is on the right hand image where I'm pointing to it. That is extremely important to hold the club there. And when I was talking about the proper hinge movement, this is really, the left hand, the upper hand, is really the hand that dominates the movement of the swing and the movement of the club. So what I want you to do is try and hold the club as I'm holding it in the picture. Now, if you can't do that, that's a sign that you don't have a neutral grip. So practice gripping the club so that the V points towards your right shoulder, and then use this drill also to get that feeling of where the club should be on your upper hand. So alignment. Now, why do you want to align squarely to the target? Well, there's a couple reasons for this. The first is it basically and simply allows you to hit more straight shots. Because you're square to the target line, and by square I'm talking about your feet, knees, hips, and shoulders, you're increasing your likelihood that you're going to hit it along the target line. The other thing is that you can adjust according to your misses. So let's say you're pushing the ball right one particular round? Well, you can open up your stance a little bit, and that will allow you to come through it a little easier and perhaps hit it a little bit more to the left. But it also can give you signs as to why you're hitting it to the right. So maybe your shoulders are closed or your hips are closed, so that's why you're pushing the ball right. So alignment is a very good indicator when it comes to your misses. The next thing is that it aims you at the target every time. So if you have square alignment, then it's going to aim you directly at the target every time, and there's obviously ways to maximize that when you practice and check to see if you're square, because it's hard to do that on the course. But really, if you know how to align properly, it's going to aim you down the target line every time. And just as the neutral grip does, this generates the correct swing plane if everything on your body, which I mentioned earlier, your feet, knees, hips, and shoulders are aligned squarely to the target. So, how do you tell if you have proper alignment? Well, as I mentioned, your feet, knees, hips, shoulders, eyes, and arms should all be parallel to the target line. As you can see in the picture, the shoulders, in the image they show shoulders, toes, and hips are all exactly parallel to the target line, which is your club face pointing straight at whatever your target is. And parallel alignment is extremely important to hit straight shots. However, if you're going to hit a draw, you're going to want to be a little closed. If you want to hit a fade, you're going to be a little open. So for straight shots, and I think most shots, and for most golfers, having parallel alignment and proper alignment is by far a huge key to success in playing good golf. So athletic posture. Now, I told you I was going to describe to you what athletic posture is, but first I'm going to get into why do you want athletic posture. Well, the picture that I've included here isn't a good example. It's just I thought it was a funny cartoon, so I included it. But really what athletic posture does is it maximizes your distance by generating a big swing arc. So as I'll talk through in the next slide is what athletic posture actually is. You're going to see how it actually can generate a lot of power and the proper swing arc that you need, that most good golfers share in their swings. It also allows for the proper swing plane. So just like the neutral grip does, and just like having proper alignment does, having an athletic posture really generates that proper swing plane. And the last thing is that it increases consistency. So you're going to have less chunks, skulls, shanks, less of those really bad shots if you have correct posture. Now I know that's a little strange to think about, but it's amazing how much of a difference just by changing the shape of your body and how you actually address the ball makes. If you look at all the professional golf players, you can see when they address the ball, their posture, they're in a very athletic stance, and obviously they're the pros, so it's never a bad thing to follow their suit. So how do you tell if you have proper posture? Well, as you can see in the picture, I've drawn a line on my spine angle, and one of the big keys to having proper posture is having a relatively straight spine angle. Now, I know you can see some snow in the picture there. I live in Canada, so I don't have the luxury of practicing in the warmth of summer all year round. So, but as you can see, my back is relatively straight, and my knees are actually bent slightly, and they should be over the front half of your feet. So if you look straight down, your knees should be directly over the front half of your feet. Your arms should hang loosely straight down, so they're not reaching out in front of you, and they're not too tight to your body. And the weight should be on the balls of your feet. So I think one of the biggest problems with amateur golfers is that a lot of the time the weight is on the heels. This is wrong, and this will actually force you to push the ball or slice the ball. If the weight's on the balls of your feet, you're in a good position to make the proper swing motion, and it allows you to follow through towards the target, which generates more straight shots. So ball position. So why have the optimal ball position? Well, what happens when you hit a pitching wedge off the front foot of your stance? What about a driver from the middle of your stance? Well, you can probably guess that the result is not going to be how you like it. I think in the first scenario, what happens most of the time is you'd end up chunking it, because the high loft of a club is intended to go into the ground and make a divot, and where you make contact with that with the ball generally is in the middle of your stance. Whereas with a driver, you know, you're sweeping the club and hitting the ball in the upswing, so you don't want to touch the ground at all. So having it in the middle of your stance would force you to hit the ground, and the result wouldn't be too great. So having the correct ball position really enables you to maximize the performance of each club. Now, how do you tell if you have the optimal ball position? Well, it's really simple. Here are the guidelines, quick guidelines for having the proper ball position with each club. So for wedges and 9-iron, generally the ball should be positioned in the middle of your stance. Now this holds true for most good golfers, and in my years of playing at a competitive level and getting coached and doing research, this guideline is really kind of the best of the best in terms of where the ball should be positioned. So when you have an 8-iron or a 3-iron, really the ball should be positioned about 1 club head length inside your front heel. So it's about 6 inch, maybe 4 to 6 inches inside of your front heel. Now by inside I mean towards the middle of your stance. And with your woods and your driver, the ball should be off your front heel or toe. Now this obviously depends a little bit on what kind of player you are and how you hit it, but really in general the ball should be positioned off your front heel or toe for your big clubs like driver and your 3-wood. So that's it for this first video where I took you through really mastering the basic fundamentals. Now, if you go through the stuff I just talked to you about, and really check and work on having the correct grip, the correct alignment, the correct posture, and the correct ball position, I guarantee you the next time you go out you're going to see a huge improvement. Now in video 2 I'm going to take you through step 2 and step 3 to quick fixing your golf game, and really how objective-based practicing and a pre-round routine can save you time and lower your handicap at the same time. So make sure to check your email in the next few days, and look forward to seeing you again soon.